Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm live with an old dear friend, Brad Zeller from Ashland Memorial Medical Center up in Ashland, Wisconsin. So, Bradley, I'm on one end of the Lake Superior, right? The thin part, and you're on the complete opposite end. Like
Correct.
we both live on the big water. So that's what makes us just love it. And I know you're a great fisherman, and every time I've been in your office, I'm always in awe of that giant stuffed fish on the wall. So I know that's what you love. But Brad, you are the radiology director. Do you have any other parts to your title?
No, that's it. Director of radiology.
All right, Director of
Mhm.
Radiology. Very important department, as always. And today I want to talk with Brad. He's been recognized by his executive team and his human resources department as a great communicator and a leader, not just a great communicator, but a leader who's put specific communication tactics in place to get great results. So, fortunately for fans of the framework and our fans all over the place, we get to talk to you a year in. We get to talk to you more than a year in, actually, when you've put these things in place, and now there's been great results with it. Because what we see, Brad, when we travel across the country and talk to leaders, the perception that communication is happening is very, very strong. And the perception also that leaders have of themselves that they have communicated something well, again, very strong. And it tends to be something that people don't work on. They don't see it as a hardcore skill that they have to work on to become a greater communicator. Or they see it as a personality style thing, like, oh, hey, I'm a great communicator, right? And what we advocate for, like you have done, and you're going to tell us about it in a minute, is that you put strategies in place, you put tactics in place that to be successful. But the most important thing is, and this is what you have done, is then you weigh them. Okay. Study, adjust. Hey, this worked, maybe this didn't. I'm going to really focus my people. I know my people, and this is how they like to be communicated with. I'll never forget coaching one of my leaders as a CNO, and his primary method of communication. And when I asked him if he thought he was a great communicator, I am a fabulous communicator. Fabulous. But what he did was he would come out of any meeting, and anything that needed to be communicated, he went directly into his day shift RNs, two of them sitting in an ICU next to each other, watching monitors, taking care of patients, and he would tell them what they needed to know. And then he would say, please pass that on. And then he would hope, and hope is not a strategy, right? He would hope that it got to the far reaches of people who only worked night shift and only worked weekends and all that. And then he was always astounded. Well, wait a minute. I told Donna and Robin that the other day, and you didn't hear it?
Yeah.
I told them that Thursday. They were supposed to pass it on a report, right? So, or people who only email, or now we have people who only text. I have a group text message, right? That's not communication. That's not communication. So, first of all, I want to talk about your results. Tell me where you went from here to here.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, Jane, for having me on today. Really appreciate it. I'm excited to talk about some of the strategies that we've implemented here in the last 12 months. So I think they've really made a difference because communication is everything. If you can't communicate well, you're certainly going to see that in your scores, in everything. And as you know, if you're not a good communicator, staff will make up the pieces that they're missing, and
Oh,
it's usually not the story that's true. So whatever tactics you can do to make sure that they're getting the information from the correct source and all the information at the same time, it's really important. And results have been there. In the last year, we've seen our communication score within our press gaining engagement survey jump from 2.37 to 4.5 when it comes
That
to
is
communication,
great.
which a big improvement. And I think it speaks to three things that I feel have made the biggest impact when it comes to communication and within radiology. First being a consistent daily huddle.
Mhm.
So we have huddles every day at 3. They're 10 minutes, they're short, they're very operational, but again, the point of though is get everybody on the same page. They're at a time when staff are turning over. We have our 3 o'clocks coming in. It's important for everyone to be on the same page. And if there's things that come up that need follow-up, it's very important that I do that. And I take that very seriously. Second being that not everyone can be at the huddle every day at 3. So they're missing information. And I do what's called a weekly huddle wrap up. Every week, end of the week, all the topics we talk about. It's basically a communication to all staff. I don't want to inundate staff with emails throughout the week. I really want one email to be the source of all information. And they're structured in a way where I start with the mission moments of the week, positives, recognition of staff. We talk about the huddle topics. We talk about lessons learned. There's going to be things that didn't go right throughout the week. We talk about those.
Right.
And
Perfect.
then important topics for coming weeks. It could be that the physicist is doing inspections or doing a survey in the next week. We want to know exactly when they're going to be working on each piece of equipment, for example. So it's really gets everybody on the same page. If they're not here for a week, they read that when they come in and they feel like they're right where they should be from a communication standpoint. They save them. And if there's something like maybe there was a protocol change with CT, they can go back. They're like, oh, I know that was in the huddle wrap up. Then go back and make sure and review it if there's any questions. So I think the huddle wrap up has been really important to get everyone on the same page. And I'm really happy with that. I'm about to write the 50th one. So we've been doing that for
Oh,
almost a year. I went
good for
back and
you.
counted today.
That's so cool. Yeah.
So, because prior to that, we didn't document anything other than in a notebook, like topics, but it was really hit and miss, and people wouldn't get the information they deserve to get. So, I think it's probably one of the most important things I can do every week. It takes time, sure, but it's that important, and staff repeatedly have said that's important, Brad. We really, really like that. Keep doing that. So
Oh, that's great.
good feedback. So,
Yeah.
and the third thing being a dashboard that I have implemented within radiology that is a lot of information. It's organizational goals, our departmental goals, things that we need to keep track of throughout the year. And we review that at least once a month. How are we doing on our goals? How are we doing on the things that we would say we're going to do? What are our tactics? Are we making some improvement? Are we still red or are we yellow now? Or are we green? And the nice thing about that is it engages the staff to get involved in that because no one likes seeing red on the dashboard. They want to get involved and turn that around. So they've been really involved in the dashboard and it's great. We've had some things that we've had to study and adjust. I got a little crazy on it with the information that I wanted and it kind of overwhelmed staff for a while. So we made a tab that's just specific for staff. And then the other tab is for me and my senior leader because we need to keep track of all of the things that maybe staff don't need to see everything. So it's been really positive. We focus on that every month at our staff meeting, but there's times too when I bring it to huddle and present something projected on the wall, and we talk about something on the dashboard. So those three things I feel have made the biggest impact for communication, for trust within the department, getting to know the staff. I've only been here for I've been in the position for a year. So I'm relatively new as well, so it's just really important to establish these things so staff get to know me and they know that I'm here to break down barriers for them and improve communication. So that has been, I think, the three most important things to implement. And again, the results have been very positive.
Right.
I'm excited about that to jump from 2.37 to 4.5 in 1 year. I'm excited to see what it's going to be this year. I really am. And overall engagement jumped from 3.7 to 4.13. So
Nice.
again, not where I want to be higher. And I think we have a shot at that this year. And we just continue to talk about it and what can we do to improve and what do we adjust?
Good for you. I mean, I just love hearing that, about especially something as important as transparent communication. So think of the trust you're building. Think of the example you're setting for people in their other relationships. You probably have, little rad techs doing weekly huddles with their teenagers now. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. And not to say that we haven't had steps backwards, because we have, but the nice thing is staff feel engaged to say, hey, Brad, that isn't working very well. I think we can do this. And now they're helping me shape this and improve things and improve the huddle wrap up. For example, sometimes it gets a little lengthy. And they said, if it's a new topic, put it in bold. I'm like, oh, great. So a new topic this week. Sometimes I have things that are in there more than once because it's that important of a topic, but we bold things that are really important for them to see. And just feedback like that is so important. Getting that feedback from staff, they're incorporating their ideas within this document, which is really key for them to stay engaged with it. And yeah, it's been, it's not that it's been perfect from day one. It hasn't, but we continue to adjust and move forward.
Good for you. Well, I can say in your email, when we were prepping for this time together, you said it does take some of my time to put together that weekly, huddle wrap up.
Yeah.
It's a newsletter or a blog. It takes thought. It
Yep.
takes time to put it in. But imagine, Brad, I mean, you've been a leader for a long time. What if you didn't do that? How much repeating of information, how much, hurt feelings because of misunderstandings, how much does a lack of trust, cost you in time?
Correct.
Costs
Yep.
enormous, and that's negative time. What you're doing is positive, feeding everyone and feeding yourself time. So good for you.
Yeah, no, I think the time is well spent, and you're absolutely right. It's less time overall when you
Yeah.
think of it that way,
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Yep.
So, everyone out on our social media channels, if you want what Bradley has, right?
Yeah.
We have the Just Start Solutions and Leadership Bundle, and it's happening on our website. Go to www.capstoneleadership.net and press the Just Start button, and you'll